Yeah, hello everybody. See, this is Bhanu Prakash. In the last lectures, I discussed about Coulomb's law and the transformation of a vector from one coordinate system to another coordinate system. Now, in this lecture, I would like to explain about electric field intensity. It's a very, very important concept. Electric field intensity. Shortly, I can write it as EF5 and it is represented by A bar. Why? Because electric field intensity is a vector quantity. So, see, to understand this concept, let us consider a positive charge. See, have consider a positive charge here like this. Okay, see, already expressed in the previous classes, whenever there is a existence of positive charge or negative charge, what will happen? Due to its properties, it produces its own lines. These lines are generally called as field lines. So, if those field lines are produced by the electrical charges, then such type of field is called as electric field. Okay. Now see, due to the property of electrical charges, so whenever there is existence of a positive charge, it produces its own lines around it like this. So what are these lines? These lines are called as well electric field lines. Okay. Now see, so up to here, where up to where I draw this field lines, up to here I draw the field lines, electric field lines. Okay. So now this is the region. This is the region. A region is formed here because of this electric charges. The region where the electric field lines are produced is called as the electric field region. Okay. Now what I am doing here is, okay, I am keeping a similar charge. That means where I have considered a positive charge. So I want to keep same charge. That means positive charge in the vicinity of this positive charge. Let us consider this positive charge is having Q1 magnitude, and I have one more charge Q2. I have one more charge Q2. Now what I am doing here is I am keeping my Q2 charge in this location, in this area or in this vicinity. Okay, what will happen if I keep my Q2 charge? If I keep my Q2 charge, in this location, it is having same polarity, that is positive one. Okay, now what will happen? Okay, now see, it is also produces its own electric field lines around it. Now see, due to interaction of two fields, this charge is pushes away from the existing charge. Is it or not? This charge is exerting force on it due to Q1. Is it? Is it understand or not? So what I am doing here is, listen carefully. So I have a charge Q1 initially. Okay. Now I am placing the same charge in this area or in this vicinity. So due to similar type of nature, like charges, a force is exerting on Q2 due to Q1 charge. Okay. Now, so due to the force of attraction, the force of repulsion, the charge Q2 is moving away from the Q1. Now, and suppose if you consider it as a F2, suppose if you consider the force exerting on Q2 due to Q1 charge is F2 bar. Okay. Now, so according to which law we are going to write the expression for force here? According to Coulomb's law. So according to Coulomb's law, if you consider the distance between Q1 and Q2 is r, and the direction is towards the Q2. Why? Because force, we are writing the expression for force exerting on Q2 due to Q1 charge. So that's why the direction should be towards the Q2. Suppose if you want to write the expression for Q1, force exerting on Q1, in which direction it is? It is away from the Q2. Why? Because there are two charges which are similar, which are similar. So that's why force exerting on Q1 away from the Q2, force exerting on Q2 away from the Q2. Okay. Now see what I am doing here is I am writing the expression for what? Force exerting on Q2 due to Q1. So according to Coulomb's law, according to Coulomb's, what is the expression for force on Q2? So see F2 bar equals to what is the magnitude of charge at position 1? This position 1, it is position 2. The magnitude of charge at position 1 is Q1 and Q2. Force exerting on Q2 is, it is the product of Q1 and Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught. And what is the distance between 1 and 2? It is R12. So R12 bar whole square. Okay. Next, direction. Direction is, so it is represented by unit vector and it is written here is AR bar. What is this? This is the force exerting on Q2. Now suppose if you move this charge Q2, so from one location to another location and changing the position of Q2 from 2 to 3. See here, if I place or if I move my Q2 from position 2 to position 3, without disturbing my distance. Distance is R12 here. Here also the same distance I am maintaining, which is also R12. But here we should write, because of 1 and 3, I am writing R13 and direction is towards AR bar only. Okay. Now, is this force is changes from position 2 to position 3? No. Why? Because see, the magnitude of charges are Q1 and Q2 only. Next, 4 pi epsilon naught is also same. Why? Because I am not changing the media here. So that's why epsilon naught is only there here. Next, what is the distance here? The distance here is R12. The same distance I am moving. So that the distance is not changing. So without disturbing any quantity in this expression, how can you think that the force is changing from position 2 to position 3? So it is not changing. So that means the force exerting on Q2 at position 3 also same. That means now suppose if you consider the same charge at this location, in this location, in this location, in this location, the force expression is not going to be changed. The force expression is not going to be changed. Now, sir, if this charge is having unity magnitude, as it, if this charge is having unity magnitude, how can I change my expression? Okay, if Q2 is having unity magnitude, that means 1 microcoulomb. Okay, now I am changing my expressions like this. See, F2 bar by, and see, I am taking this Q2 term downwards to the F2 bar. That means I am changing my expression like this. What I am doing here? I am just bringing my Q2 to the downwards of F2. That means F2 bar by Q2 is equals to, what is the remaining expression here? Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught magnitude of R12 square into AR bar. So how can you call this term? How can you call this term? Is it force on charge? Is it term? We can call this term as force on charge, or as this Q2 is having unity magnitude, it is also called as the force. It is also called as force exerted per unit charge. Why? Because it is having unity magnitude. So that's why I can call this term as force exerted per unit charge. So now you tell me how much force is exerting at this location on Q2, it is a force exerted per unit charge. So how much force is exerting here? It is per unit charge. It is per unit charge only. It is nothing but intensity, electric field intensity. What is this? That means strength of electric field per charge only. So force exerted per unit charge. Force exerted per unit charge is called as electric field intensity. Electric field intensity. And see, this electric field intensity is represented by which letter? It is represented by capital A bar. So why we are representing upon E upon with a bar here? Why? Because electric field intensity is a vector quantity. Why? Because it is having a magnitude. It is having a magnitude. It is having magnitude as well as what? As well as direction. It is having magnitude as well as direction. So see sir, here it is having how much magnitude? It is having the magnitude of Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Magnitude of R12 square is the magnitude of electric field intensity. And where is the direction? Direction of electric field intensity is in the direction of force only. See, my electric field intensity is in this direction only. Why? Because it is proportional to force. So I am calling my electric field intensity is force exerted per unit charge. So finally I can write the expression for electric field intensity as the force exerted F2 bar by Q2 is called as your electric field intensity. This is a expression which is also equals to Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught magnitude of R12 square into AR bar is the direction. Okay? Understand? Yes. So now write the units for electric field intensity. What are the units for electric field intensity? So from this expression, E bar is equals to what are the units of force? Units of force is newtons by what are the units of charge? Charge units are coulombs. So the units of electric field intensities are Newton per coulomb. Newton per coulomb. Or also we have one more expression for electric field intensity in terms of voltage and distance. In terms of voltage and distance. So in terms of voltage and distance, E bar is equals to minus dV by dx. This formula will come at the end of our first unit. Okay. So according to this expression, what are the units of electric field intensity? According to this expression, the units of voltage is volts and the distance units is meter. So Newton per coulomb or volt per meter also the units of electric field intensity, or volt per meter. Volt per meter, the units of electric field intensity. Right. Now, so this is the explanation of your electric field intensity. Sir, so what are the applications of electric field intensity? Where it is required, sir, the electric field intensity is more at the very sharp and fine points. So at the very sharp and fine points. That means if you take a tree which is having very long length, tall length, so as it is a very sharp and fine point, the electric field intensity is more at these points. So that's why in if thunderstorms occurs in the environment during the summer season or rainy seasons, okay, so what will happen? So a lightning occurs from cloud to earth. From cloud to, suppose if you consider it is the earth, okay, what will happen here? A lightning occurs from cloud to earth. So lightning is nothing but a electrical discharge. Electrical discharge is always taking from high potential to low potential. So see, this cloud is having very huge amount of potential, and whereas earth is having zero potential. So that's why always electrical discharge is taking from high potential to low potential. So in between this, what will happen? This discharge is diverting their direction. If it is having very sharp and fine points, the direction is changing like this. Suppose if you have a cloud here, and if you have a tree, tall tree like this, your electrical discharge is touching the sharp and fine points. Why? Because it attracts the electrical field intensity. Okay, now see, and this is okay. Now see, up to now we have discussed about the electric field intensity definition and units. Okay, now suppose if this arrangement is there in the sphere, consider this is a sphere. Listen carefully. Suppose if this arrangement is there in the sphere, this is a sphere like this. And consider the radius of sphere is small r. Why? Because we have taken in our coordinate systems, at the discussion of coordinate systems, I took the radius of sphere is r. So that's why I am changing the distance between point 1 to point 2 is smaller. Okay? Why? Because the radius of sphere is smaller and direction is a r bar. Okay. Now, if you write the expression for this arrangement, your electric field intensity is written like this: E bar is equals to, from this formula, E bar is equals to F2 bar. And consider the charge at position 1 is capital Q. It is not Q1, it is Q. So F2 bar by Q2. I am not changing the magnitude of Q2. It is Q2 only, and it is having unity magnitude. F2 bar by Q2 is equals to, from this expression. What is the magnitude here? Initially there is a Q1 magnitude, but here what I did here, I have considered capital Q. So that's why in this expression Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. What is the distance here? Distance is small r square. Direction is a r bar. This is the electric field intensity expression when my positive charge is placed at the center of sphere. This is valid when the positive charge. This is when my positive charge is placed at the center of origin of center of the sphere, and the test charge is surface, this center and this surface of the sphere. Understood? Right. Okay. Now see, this is which charge it is? It is a point charge. So now the electric field intensity is not only due to the point charge. The electric field intensity is not only due to the point charge. We have different types of charges. Okay. So what are the different charges? So up to now we have seen about only positive charge. So like positive charge, we have line charge, surface charge and volume charge. Now we will see one by one what are these charges. We will try to understand the different types of charges and the electric field intensity due to the different types of charges. So I'm telling you, Now we will see the types of charges. Types of charges. So what are the types of charges? We have point charge, and line charge, next surface charge, and finally we have value charge. Okay, value charge. Now see, how can we define this point charge? So point charge will be like this. Suppose if you consider a surface like this, okay, like this. Now can you tell me, is it measurable or not? This is a measurable, and it is a dimensional one. We can say this surface is, see, only up to front side. So and it is a measurable, it is having dimensions. Okay, suppose on this surface, if your charges are uniformly distributed like this, and it is having a dimension, and the point charge will be defined like this: if the surface carrying charges are having dimensional less, if the surface carrying charges are dimensional less, that means if the surface is not having dimensions, that means, see, if the surface of this dimensions will be like this, okay, it look like here. If the surface is not having dimensions, it look like a point. So such type of charge is called as point charge. Now tell me, how can you define this point charge? A point charge is nothing but it is having, if the surface carrying charges are having dimensionless quantity, such type of charges is called as point charge. Okay, point charge is having a magnitude, but it doesn't have any. Point charge is having magnitude. Point charge is having magnitude. It doesn't have any dimensions. Doesn't have dimensions. Understand? It is represented by symbol like this. This is a point. It is having magnitude. How much? Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. It is measured in coulombs. Okay. Now to try to understand and see. Similarly, in addition to the definition of point charge and analysis, we will also see the electric field intensity due to different types of charges. So what is the electric field intensity due to point charge? Whenever I place my point charge in the center of the sphere and the test charge is on the surface of the sphere, this is the expression for electric field intensity due to which charge? Is it a point charge or any other charge? It is my point charge only, and it is placed at the center of sphere. And where is my test charge? Test charge is on the surface of the sphere. Okay, so that is the expression for electric field intensity due to a point charge. It is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into AR. Please try to remember this formula. It is a very important. Formula. Electric field intensity due to point charge. Now we will see the line charge. How can you define the line charge? The name itself indicates that the line charge, if the charge is uniformly distributed along the line. See, this is my line. So if my positive charge is uniformly distributed along this line, uniform distribution along this line, such charge is called as which charge? Line charge. And if you imagine that this the length of this line is capital L and the total charge. So how much charge is there here? We have number of charges. See, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have considered 9 charges here. Individual charges. Okay. But if you consider 9 or 10 or 11, etc., any number is there. If you consider the total charge on this line is capital Q. What is this Q? It is total charge. Total charge on the line, and it is length of the line. Length of the line. Okay. Now, see here I am defining one more term here. Why? Because the charges are uniformly distributed like this. So that's why I want to define one more term here is that is density. Which density? Line charge density. See, we will define line charge density like this. How? The line charge density, line charge density is represented by rho L, and it is the ratio of total charge, to the length of total length. So what is the length here? This is the charge here is Q and length is L. Okay. Now what are the units of this line charge density? Charge units are coulombs, and whereas the units of length are meters. So now tell me, what are the units of line charge density? It is the coulomb per meter. Okay. Now this formula is not valid in some cases. That means if you take a infinite length of conductor, so in such cases we have to take a small differential length on this line. So from that we can easily calculate the line charge density. So that's why, and your rho L is not always restricted with one component. Okay, like see rho L, example, rho L is having 3x square, that means it is having x component, and if the rho L may have 4y square and 3z square like this. Okay, so in such cases this formula is not sufficient. So that's why, and for infinite length of conductors we have to take a small differential length on this line. Small differential length, that means see, this is the total length, and I am taking the small differential length here up to here like this. Listen carefully here. This is what is this? This is my small differential length. If the total length is dl, what is the differential length? It is dl. Okay. If the total charge on the L length is capital Q, what about the charge on the differential length? If it is L, the total charge on the length is capital Q. If it is dl, what about this? It is dq. Okay. So now the line charge density rho L for differential elements. So in which cases we have considered the differential length for long length of conductors. It is somewhat difficult to analyze the like electric field intensity, magnetic field intensity, etc. So that's why we have to take small differential lengths. For rho L for differential length, differential elements, rho L for differential elements. Tell me formula. This rho L is equal to, what is the total charge for differential elements? It is dq by what is length? dl. Is it? Or if you want to calculate the charge, this is the expression for your line charge density. Okay. But in some cases he is asked to find out what is the charge on the infinite length of conductor. He doesn't give any information about charge. if he is given the information about rho L and dl and he is asked to calculate what is the amount of charge on the length. So in such cases what you will do? So do the integration on both sides. So in such cases integrating, I am first rearranging my equation like this: dq is equals to rho L into dl. Okay, so how you will get this q only here? By integrating the equations on both sides from on the length of the conductor. So by integrating the expression on both sides, so integration differentiation will get cancelled here. So q is equals to so limits, what limits we have to consider here? Is the length of the line. So line length rho L into dl. This is an expression for charge, calculate the charge on the length. And tell me, what is the example, practical example of this line charge? What is the example? What is the definition of our line charge? If the charge is uniformly distributed along the line like this, such a charge is called as line charge. Okay, can you tell me the practical example of line charge? Have you heard CRO, cathode ray oscilloscope? So what is the main component of CRT, cathode ray tube? So how it functions? It functions based on line charge only. So your CRT will be like this. It is having anode and cathode, and where your electrons are always flowing from anode to cathode like this. It is like a straight line, and your charge is uniformly distributed like this, where the energy is transferred from one charge to another charge like this. And it is a sharp beam. It looks like a sharp beam. And this beam only, your positive charge is uniformly distributed like this. So the practical example of your line charge is a sharp beam CRT. This is a practical example of your CRT. And see, now up to now we have understand the definition of line charge and line charge density and line charge density for differential elements. Okay, now we will see the electric field intensity. So electric field intensity A bar due to line charge. Okay, see, this is my line charge. Okay, now see, so whenever a charge exists, due to its properties, it produces its field lines like this, electric field lines like this. Is it or not? These are my electric field lines. Okay, now see, whenever field is exist, if you brought another similar charge in this region, what will happen? A force is experienced on the another charge. That force per unit charge is called as our electric field intensity. That means if I brought another charge in this location, that means I want to calculate the field intensity at this vicinity, at this location. Okay, I am placing one more similar charge at this point like this. Okay, so here I want to calculate the electric field intensity. So in such cases, how can you write the expression for electric field intensity? So we already know the formula for electric field intensity is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R square into AR1. From this formula, okay, here in this formula we have considered point charge Q. But here is Q is there or DQ is there? DQ is there. differential charge and differential length. For differential charge, differential length, which type of electric field intensity is produced here? Is it a differential electric field intensity or not? So here also we got the differential electric field intensity is represented by your dE bar. Okay. From this expression, if you consider this equation number 1, okay. From equation 1, from 1, very important, students, please try to understand and try to listen. From equation 1, see, in equation 1 we have E bar is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. So but in our explanation we have dE bar, it's not E bar. So that's why I am writing dE bar is equals to, and which charge we have to consider here, is it a Q or dQ? It should be dQ. Why? Because here there is a dQ term here. So dQ by next, from this expression 4 pi epsilon naught, and what is the distance? Then we did not consider any distance. So here have to consider the distance between differential charge and one more charge is R. So it is R square into unit vector. In this direction electric field intensity is this is A R bar. So A R bar. Okay. Now we know the relation between dQ, rho L and dL. What is the relation between dQ, rho L and dL? dQ is equals to rho L into dL. You just substitute this rho L into dL in this expression, so that we will get dE bar is equals to rho L dL by 4 pi epsilon naught R square into A R bar. Okay. So here there is a differential electric field intensity, but you need only electric field intensity. So what you will do here? Do the integration on both sides. So by doing integration on both sides, you get A bar is equals to line integration of, which type of integration you have to consider here, as it is a line charge intensity, you have to take L, rho L dL by 4 pi epsilon naught R square into A R bar is the electric field intensity due to line charge. This formula is valid for any type of charges, any type of lengths. That means finite length of conductor, infinite length of conductor. Now how many formulas we have now? We have 2 formulas. This is an electric field intensity due to point charge, and it is electric field intensity due to line charge. Similarly, we have another charge. What is that? Surface charge. Can you tell me the definition of surface? Tell me based on the line charge. How can we define this line charge? The charge is uniformly distributed along the line. Such a charge is called as our line charge. Okay. Similarly, if you take a surface like this, and if your charges are uniformly distributed along the surface like this, and if it is having dimensions means it should have the length. Vertical length. Okay. So if the charge is uniformly distributed along the surface area, such a charge is called as surface charge. And if you think that the surface area is S and the total charge on the surface is capital Q, and if you want to define the charge density, if you want to define the charge density, so it is represented by rho s. Okay, rho subscript s, that means surface charge density here, whereas rho l is defined, where l is for line charge density. Okay, so how can you write the expression for surface charge density? It is rho s is equals to, unlike line charge density, total charge on the surface. What is the total charge on the surface? Q. What is the surface area? S. And tell me the units, coulomb per surface units or meters square. And for differential elements, it is dq and surface area is ds. Differential element ds. So rho s is equals to dq by ds. Okay, whereas also limits are coulomb per meter square. Okay, now what is the next step? So if you want to calculate q, from this expression, what you will do? dq is equals to rho s into ds. So q, by integrating both sides this expression, you will get q is equals to surface integration of rho s into ds. This is the expression for q, capital Q. This is the expression for q, or this expression to calculate the total charge on the surface. Now we have one more concept here, is to calculate the electric field intensity. And suppose if a point is here you require to calculate the electric field intensity due to the surface charge. Okay, this is my point, this is my charge where I require to calculate the electric field intensity. Okay, why? Here we have considered ds bar, differential surface area. So on differential surface area, what is the charge? It is dq. So due to differential surface area, differential charge, the electric field intensity produces at another point is differential electric field intensity, and that differential electric field intensity from equation 1, dE bar is equals to, tell me, dq by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into r bar. Okay, but from the relation between rho s dq and ds, rho s dq ds, what is the dq? dq is equals to rho s into ds. You just substitute this value in this expression so that we will get dE bar is equals to rho s ds by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into ar bar. Okay, by integrating this equation on both sides, you will get, after integration, E bar is equals to surface integration of rho s ds by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into ar bar. This is the electric field intensity due to please remember, this is the electric field intensity due to surface charge, electric field intensity due to line charge, electric field intensity due to point charge. Okay, so now what is the practical example of this surface charge?